In 2019, in honor of the 20th Annual Maine Family Business Awards, the IFOB Board awarded Maddie Corson the inaugural BerryDunn Lifetime Achievement Award. Tonight, I would like to invite Colleen McCracken to the stage to kick off the tribute to this year's recipient. Colleen was the former CFO and CEO of Thomas Moser, where she worked side by side with Harry Fraser for 12 years. Colleen is a former board chair for the IFOB, former CEO at Planet Dog, and started her own business consulting firm in 2019, CLMC LLC. Come on up, Colleen. I don't have my glasses, so hopefully I can read this. Good evening, everyone, and thank you all for your support of the family-owned businesses here in Maine. I am honored to have the chance to say a few words about Harry Fraser, the second recipient of the Lifetime Achievement Award for the Institute for Family-Owned Business. First of all, I cannot think of anyone more qualified to follow in Maddie Corson's footsteps as the second recipient of this award. Harry happens to be the reason I became involved in the Institute in the first place. So many years ago, when I had the honor of working for him at Thomas Moser. Harry has been a long-time advocate for and has an incredible passion for family-owned businesses here in Maine. He has been instrumental in building the foundation for the Institute for Family-Owned Business here in Maine. After working in the corporate world for many years, he, like many of us, realized how different family business cultures are. The entrepreneurial spirit, the feeling of being literally part of the family, and the opportunities that exist to be involved at such a deeper and meaningful level with your work. No matter what challenges we faced, Harry was always the eternal optimist, reminding us of all the good that family businesses bring to the employees and our economy here in Maine. While at Thomas Moser, Harry was an incredible mentor to me, both personally and professionally. He was one of those leaders that understands the value of balancing work and fun, leading without ever micromanaging, and respecting what each individual brings to the table. I believe that I flourished under his leadership, or at least I hope so. I always felt that Harry made sure we saw ourselves as part of a team, and that success was because of each and every one of us. Harry never tried to take credit for himself. He was always happy being the coach in the background, while making us all laugh on his morning arrival at the shop with, I think you guys know this, "It's a wonderful day in Millinocket, so don't knock it." It was the best. I mean, it is. So I like to think that I learned a thing or two from him because of his leadership style. Finally, I have certainly had the pleasure of working with many leaders during the last 35 years in my professional career, and I realize I'm dating myself. And I have never met another leader with Harry's charisma, character, and willingness to let others take credit. Harry, you have always been an inspiration to me, and so many others that have had the good fortune of working with you. Thank you for the impact that you have had on me personally and professionally, and for the leadership you have brought to family-owned businesses and the Institute. Leaders like you come around once in a lifetime, and I am so happy that I have had that opportunity to intern under you. Congratulations on receiving the Lifetime Achievement Award for the Institute for Family-Owned Business. It is so well-deserved. Now I would like to take this opportunity to invite Tom Moser up to the stage to say a few words about Harry. No swearing. Thank you.
One year after this organization was formed, I put an ad in the paper looking for a controller. And what I got was Harry Fraser. Well, now, Harry, what's your background? Well, Harry was born in Nova Scotia. He went to college in Bangor. He worked, you heard it already, Great Northern Paper Company, and that Millinocket, I can't stand it. But he worked there, and then he went to Digital Equipment Corporation, and he worked there for a number of years. Anyway, he came and sat down at my desk, and I'll be controller. Well, Harry, have you ever well, I've run multi-million-dollar businesses. We have silos where everybody has something to do. It's been highly organized. Sure, I can run this rinky-dink outfit. You know, I mean, what are you, 50 people? Little did he know how complex his job was to become. Harry Fraser was not only our controller, he was our CEO. And as such, he was responsible for every aspect of our business. I think about that a minute. Marketing, sales, merchandising, maintenance, on and on and on. So he learned a lesson, and I learned one too. A small family business can be far more complex task than working as a cog in some multi-million-dollar enterprise. So Harry took the job, and as Colleen so aptly put it, was the fundamental soul of our business for the years he was there. One of the things he did that very few CEOs do is he cooked a barbecue every month for everybody. Now, I mean, and he did it himself. That's Harry. He did everything himself. It wasn't just delegating, but it was participating. Colleen, you summarized so beautifully the attributes that I have for Harry Fraser. Well, can you remember anybody the third quarter of 2008? You remember when the bottom fell out in 08? We lost 40% of our business. And I bet you some of you guys, I know you must have suffered during that moment in 08. Harry came to our company, and in the 13 years he was there, grew it 240%. Unbelievable. Not only did he grow it top line, but he kept profitability up, and he kept distributions up during those 13 years. But when 08 came, he and I sat down and said, you know, where are we going? And we agreed that maybe it's time that he try something new. He had been on the board of directors of Johnny's Select Seeds for years, and they looked for somebody to run that, and he grabbed it. I have to tell you, the saddest day of the 50 years that I had been involved with this business, the saddest day was the day at my desk when we agreed to go our own ways, and he handed me his credit card. I will never forget that moment. Harry wasn't just a CEO, he was a dear friend, and he was responsible for growing our business in those 13 years, from 1995 to 2008. He grew our business 240%. I know you guys grew 400%, but that's, I mean, you're a freebies. You know, you're non-for-profits. That doesn't count. I don't mean it. But no, 140% for a for-profit company, manufacturing in Maine. That's pretty good. And we owe it to Harry Fraser. So I'm going to invite Maddie Corson to come up. Where are you, Maddie?
Right here.
Okay, and she has a few words she wants to say. I just want everybody to know that one of the great gifts Mary and I and our family had is coming in touch with Harry Fraser. Millinocket, no, how does it go? Don't knock it, Millinocket. I just, oh, Jesus. Thanks, Harry.
One trouble with being up here is the lights are so bright. There you are. I just want to know where you are, Harry. This is Finding Harry. I'd known Thomas Mosier for many years, and as a family-owned business member, I wanted to get him involved in the IFOB. As the story goes, he went to Harry and asked him if he would attend a meeting here, and Harry said, I guess so. I don't know what it's all about, but I'll be glad to go. He did not know what he was getting into, but he needed to go meet with this group. What began as an unknown became a huge love for the people of the family-owned business. Harry was dedicated to helping and supporting them. He also became a big proponent of ESOPs and helped companies transition. I guess that's after he left Mosier, and he went to Johnny Appleseed. He has many devoted friends in this room and beyond. Harry's philosophy is, a rising tide lifts all boats, and he was instrumental in helping the IFOB obtain our nonprofit status and thrive. Now, Harry, we know that you're very proud of your Scottish heritage, and so this is for you. I'm not sure where they're coming from. Yeah. Harry, you can stay standing. Harry, you can stay standing because I'm going to present you with a Lifetime Achievement Award from BerryDunn McNeil. So come on up.
I have to carry this with me.
It's fine. Thank you, my darling boy.
You're so awesome.
Are you going to say a few words?
I'm going to try.
All righty, you'll feel fine. Yes.
Hello? Yeah, there we are. I'm going to try to say a few words, which most of you that know me, that's rather difficult for me to say a few of anything. But when I'm in front of a crowd here, which I can't see, which is great, it might make it a little bit easier. So I did have to write some things down because if not, I end up, as my children will tell you, be a rambling rose here. I'll be just going off. What a wonderful tribute. I'm just blown away. I listened to the candidates for the awards this year, and they all talk about their employees and how important that is to the success of their company. Over the 30 years now that I've been involved in the Institute, I've seen and worked with, I can't tell you how many family businesses, but it's got to be close to 100. I've sat on boards, I've done consulting for them, much to BerryDunn's chagrin. I did some finance work for them. But I had a sign in my office a number of years ago that said, "The strength of our achievements is rooted in the depth of our passion. And the more passionate you are about your work, the more successful you will be and the less stressed you will be." And there was another one right below it that said, "Exceptional achievements are within our reach when we stand tall on a foundation of personal integrity, hard work, and unwavering determination." Family-owned businesses are the center of all of that, in my mind. And I've watched it happen over and over again. But before I go on too much here, I want to thank the Institute for orchestrating this wonderful event tonight. Special thanks to Catherine, our executive director, and her staff. I'd like a round of applause for her, please, and the staff. I can't see you, Catherine, but thank you very much. Thank you. How's the watch? Is that okay? The watch working all right? Okay. She forgot her watch, and now I don't need it. So, I'd also like to thank the board of directors of the Institute for this award, especially recognizing Seth and BerryDunn for their sponsorship of this. Seth and I, is that correct? Yeah. Oh, I thought I heard somebody go, "Oh, he said it to that." Seth and I go back a ways. We've done a lot of work with ESOPs and valuations and so on, and he's been a true mentor of mine in educating me. I also want to, a thanks to Maddie, Tom, Colleen, for your more than kind words. Thank you Thank you for being a most significant friend. And your relentless support. I love you very much. Trying to get through this. Not much longer. There's only 6 pages left. I've talked about many, many times my passion for family-owned business. This passion, along with the work of a gentleman called Robert Greenleaf that headed up he was in Wisconsin, I think they're in New Jersey now, he's since passed away, but he was the founder of the Center for Servant Leadership. And he was a major driving factor, along with the family-owned business, that has really shaped my career and my life as to what I wanted to be. You can't lead unless you serve. Greenleaf, he believed that a better society, one that is more just and more loving, one that provides greater creative opportunity for its people, that's what he hoped for and wanted. And good God, wouldn't we use a lot of that today in our businesses, especially the big businesses? A little bit of caring goes such a long way, and it's here in this room. And I'm not bragging, but I've got the experience to tell you that the number of companies that I've worked with, it works. It works. The chairman of the board once said to me, I went in to talk to him about budgets, and I said, I want to talk to you about how much we want to grow next year and so on. And he looked at me and he says, I don't really care. You do what you need to do. You're the finance guy. I grow seeds, okay? And he says, what I want you to focus on is solving customer problems and taking care of our employees. The bottom line will follow. And we did that, and it did follow, and had unbelievable growth in the company as a result of the participation of the employees. That led me into the world of ESOPs, which is all about the employees. I prefer family businesses, but there are times where family businesses can't transition. And one of the options is ESOP before you sell. And the ESOP has a tendency to preserve that family sense in the business and is extremely powerful. I lost my spot. It's because I'm on the next page. Greenleaf envisioned that servant leadership as a movement will continue to enrich the lives of individuals and establish more people-centered institutions, as well as strengthen its vital relationships. I can't tell you how important I think that is. Having this passion and knowledge, I sat back and I was, having studied Greenleaf and got this bug about family businesses, I said, how does that fit with me, okay? I don't want to be in a job I don't like. I want my job to be my life, and I want my life to be my job. A lot of people have told me you have to check your brain at the door when you come home. You leave your business there and you bring your family home. Not me. Sorry, there's no difference. I treat people the same way in every aspect, I hope. My kids might have a little bit different to say about that. But as luck would have it, as Maddie mentioned, Tom Mosier walked into my office one day and mentioned that he had spoke to Maddie Corson, and I said, sorry, I don't know Maddie. And he explained who Maddie was, and that she was looking for some representation for Mosier at the Institute of Family-Owned Business. Tom and Maddie said, they asked me if I wanted to go. Okay, I'm not sure I got it quite that way, but I did know whose name was on the door. Okay, so I engaged, and it was probably the best thing that I did in my life was to become a part of this group. I'm not going to go on too much there, but the journey began at that point. There's no doubt in my mind that having worked for large, small corporations, venture capitalist groups, and closely held family-owned businesses, the best place to work are companies that practice some of Greenleaf's philosophy in terms of focus on the employee and the growth. I found this within the family-owned business world, where preserving those entities was paramount, and one that continues to encourage and inspire me. The work that I do alongside so many of you here has helped create opportunities for others that usually have scarce resources to make it happen. Getting close. I'm down to almost. When I arrived at the IFOB, it had already grown roots, thanks to some wonderful groundbreaking work by Shepley and Maddie Corson. Maddie has held on to this IFOB since, it just amazes me, okay? Because we went through some fairly tough times. I had the privilege of being a board member and was chair for a number of years. We had term limits, but we also had member limits. And many of us had to put on more than one hat and often skip by the term limit guidelines. In other words, you did it last year, you got it this year, right? Who would have thought that this was the beginning of such a rich, satisfying career life? We moved the Institute from the University of Maine campus and set up a 401c nonprofit. We had $0 in our bank account at that time. This transition was both difficult and filled with risk. With the help early on from Maddie, Maureen Costello-Wedge, Tom Juniman, Frank O'Shea, Teresa Cloutier, Adam Lee, Cal Coctus, Dan Thornton, and many others who, if I forgot to mention, I'm sorry, I'm 70 years old. These were hard, but fun days. And when we come out the other end of this and we were successful, it was, as my boys would say, it was like playing the best team in hockey and we beat them. That's how good it felt. The rest is history. Our membership is very strong and growing. We have a very, very strong diversified board and membership. Our programs are focused on the needs of our members, and our sponsors have lined up to support our family businesses. Thank you to the sponsors. This could never have happened without your guidance and your support. I'll give you one little story about Harry, and then I'm going to stop. It wasn't until later in life that I just realized that the work I had did in my father's business, which was just a couple of service stations in the 60s, was my first introduction to family business. My father felt like he needed to be harder on me so as not to show any favoritism. The other employees believed I was born with a silver spoon in my mouth. I didn't understand this. I was alone in the world. Of course, that didn't make me very happy, and maybe I was young enough to act up at that point. But I asked my father many years later how he felt about firing me, because he did. He said, "It was a little tough, son. But really what the hardest part was that I had to go home and tell your mother." And believe me, I know what that means. If you knew my mother, you would understand. 50 years later, I look back and realize that the huge benefit family business have is their ability to incorporate both family and businesses, a combination that has resulted in tremendous success rates when compared to other businesses. I am hopeful that someday this concept and attitude put forward by Greenleaf and practiced in family businesses will permeate all other businesses. What a wonderful world that would be. I'm extremely thankful for all the support you have given me. I continue to follow my passion for family-owned business and am truly honored to receive this award. In closing, I would like to introduce my family that are with us today. Had to do this at the end, by the way, both in person and virtually. My sister is here virtually from Calgary and is probably still in tears from the bagpipes. Because both of my sisters grew up playing in the band, and we were always being toted around to the different festivals of the tartans and so on. To have those bagpipes here tonight is just beyond. Anyways, she'll get by though. She'll be fine. But here at my table, here at the table is my son Jacob, my son Ben, my son Chad, and my daughter Courtney. Ben's friend Emily is with us, my mentor and great friend Susan Sherbel, and my very dear close friends Hollis and Linda Ward. Thank you all for the amazing support and being there to celebrate this wonderful event. Thanks to the live streaming, we are joined by my sister Diane, as I mentioned, and my brother-in-law Barry in Calgary, and my daughter-in-law CJ, and my two granddaughters Kit and Katie. It happens to be Katie's birthday today. Happy birthday, my little princess. I love you. Thank you all again. And I'm truly grateful to the Institute for this recognition. And may God bless you all.